everybody. I'm Bishop.
And I'm Dr. Steph.
And thank you so much for tuning in to our YouTube channel. We call it Our Life, Our Journey.
Our truth.
And we're so excited to have you connected on today. Let me tell you, we appreciate all of you every single week who join us in this place, uniquely designed to empower you and to help you live the best life that God has for you. We want to give you our content and things that God has blessed us with, practical life lessons and things from a variety of different subjects that we just want to pour into your life to see you get better. And we're seeing it. We're hearing the testimonies. So keep them coming. Make sure that you like, that you comment.
You share and subscribe.
Please do, because we want to make sure you stay connected. It means a lot to us. And follow Dr. Steph. At Dr. Steph Walker. Follow me at Joseph Walker 3 on Instagram. Make sure you go to our website, josephwalker3.org, and you can get our book, Becoming a Couple of Destiny, other books that are out there. And you can also get our merch, which is out there as well, some cool stuff you can personalize, and we appreciate you. We see some of y'all wearing it too, so we appreciate that, and that means a lot. Today, honey?
Yes.
You know you make me better, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I hope I make you better.
I think so.
All right, then. That's what we're going to talk about. How do you make me better? And the premise of this is that a lot of what we do, most of it, is about helping people know God brings us together for purposes greater than ourselves.
Yeah.
And God will never bring you together with someone who was going to diminish you.
Right. Make you worse.
Yes. The Bible says very clearly and emphatically that iron sharpeneth iron, right? And so if that is the case, that means that God is intentional when he connects us with people, because he knows that there are things in them that could sharpen us. There are
make
things
you better.
in us that can sharpen them. You don't want to be in a relationship and you stay dull and you're never growing. You're never. And I think a part of that is the willingness to be challenged. And I say that at the onset because making you better, to be better, is a great act of humility. It is to accept the fact that there is space to grow.
Yeah.
And maybe there are things that I need to change or redact. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. I just may be stuck in a certain way of doing something. And can I truly be humble enough to receive that kind of suggestion from my mate without being offended by it?
Or sometimes it's simply just value added to the positive skill sets that you already have.
Right.
And that individual can help enhance those skills, help you dive deeper into those assets that make you you, to bring those things out to the forefront. Sometimes we have skills that we're hiding or skills that we're not using, and your mate, who is right there with you every day, every step of the way, sees things in you sometimes that you don't see in yourself, and they push you to the point of encouraging you. That's what we mean by pushing. Encouraging you to utilize those skills, giving you the confidence to really step out on faith on those things that sometimes you may be keeping in reserve.
Yeah, and I think when you think about how people come together, and God has a unique way of saying, look, you're here to enhance this person's life. Sometimes we can have gifts that lie dormant. And it's a perfect example in the mentor-mentee relationship between Paul and Timothy. And Paul essentially tells Timothy, stir up the gift that is inside of you. I lay my hands on you and I stir the gift up. It's time for this to come out of you. Don't be complacent. And there have been many times in my life and our life that we have both done that to each other. Like, hey, you got too much in you. I'll give you a perfect example.
Okay.
This is going to be very transparent. So y'all know I'm a writer, and I write. I've written 14 books, all to the glory of God. My wife said to me, I was
in the
context of writing another book.
Talking about
writing another book. She said, you really are an exceptional writer. She says, but I think that in order to have more of a global appeal, you really need to take your time and not rush your books, but really take your time and great books, novels, etc. They've been written over years. Now I'm hearing this, wondering, are you saying I'm not a good writer? She's not what she's saying. What she's saying is that in order to create a masterpiece, in order to create a book that's going to reach the world globally. Take your time because there's so much in you, but because of your life and your schedule and your cadence, you're just used to putting it out. You glorify the fact that you can write a book in 4 months, and that's not how great
Right.
books are written.
Thank you.
So I had received that.
Yes.
And so now she's making me better because now versus my style of writing has changed completely where I'm really okay with taking my time.
And going back and reviewing it
Doing it,
yourself and not
yes.
relying on
Somebody
everyone
else to do it. Yeah.
else, right?
Yeah.
And going through the editing process
Yeah.
yourself and
Yeah.
like looking at it, adding to it, adding
Yeah.
value. Like
Yeah.
you're brilliant.
You're very kind to say that.
Thank you. But you are brilliant. And sometimes when you write quickly and then you're on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But you've only poured 1/3 of what you want to say into that book
That's
as
so true.
opposed to pouring everything. You are destined for a New York Times bestseller.
Wow.
But in order
Yeah,
to
heard it
do
right
that,
here, huh?
you have to put the time and the energy and the effort in.
Yeah, well, you're very kind to say that. So, I mean, this is the kind of thing that's important, right? To really be able to hear your mate say to you,
Yeah.
you know, constructively, you know, and not be offended by it. That hey, there's so much more in you, and don't settle for where you are, but continue to push. And so she pushes me. She pushes me, and I have to be willing to receive that and say, God, thank you for somebody that pushes me. Have there been times in your life where I pushed you to make you better?
Well, frequently. I mean, like a lot of what we're even doing in this season. I just feel like for most of our marriage, like my life previous to meeting you was about being in the hospital and that grind and being, an amazing physician to within the confines of the four walls of the institution, right? Yes, I was dedicated to doing things in the community, but you were the one that pushed me.
Yeah.
And just in terms of encouraging me, recognizing that there are gifts in me that can be utilized on a larger scale.
Amen.
Because otherwise, I would have just stayed put where I was. That was my comfort zone. And greatness is never in the comfort zone. Greatness is beyond the comfort zone. Greatness makes you want to, go hide or makes you want to throw up sometimes because it really challenges you outside of what you're used to doing and pushes you to do things that you never knew that you had inside of you. And you have constantly just encouraged me. You've constantly, pointed out gifts and things that I have in me, to the point where now I'm not going to say that I'm fearless, but when you say that I can do something, I truly believe it because you've always proven yourself right.
Well, you are extraordinary.
Thank
You're
you.
in so many ways.
Thank
And I think
you.
that, I think when you think about, coming together with someone, and maybe you're watching this with your mate, maybe it's an opportunity to look at them and say, tell me things that could enhance my life. And I think really it starts with, can I trust you with the truth?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And the wisdom. I did a Bible study, interestingly enough. I did a Bible study a few weeks back, a series on wisdom. And it really was about wisdom as the proper application of truth. The proper application of truth. You can know truth, but if you know how to apply truth. That's why the Bible says it's understanding. So that's a horse. I cognitively, intuitively know it's a horse, but I may not understand how horses are.
And how
Their
do you utilize
temperament.
them for your
How to utilize, right? So I can approach a horse on the rear
get
and
kicked
play
in
with
the
his
face.
tail and end up in the hospital with a
Right.
broken neck, right?
Right.
So you know your mate,
Yeah.
and you have to know the time to
And the how.
to say to them, and that's wisdom.
Yeah.
Because you can say the right thing
But
at the wrong time
or the wrong way. Yeah.
or the wrong way, and it cannot be received, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I
yeah.
think that's about knowing each other,
Yeah.
studying each other. I think when you learn, yeah.
And so, like, talk about like in the beginning of our relationship, like how.
Well, I don't think we really knew each other as well, understood, and so we would pretty much just, with no filter, just kind of say certain things to each other about what we felt.
I think we were kind.
We were kind, but it still was no filter. It wasn't like no filter in terms of wisdom, in terms of timing. We don't understand certain things that may have been happening, etc. And so I think it's just about, how do you say a thing? How do you help a person
Right.
who's been entrenched in a certain way of being for so long?
Yeah.
And then you come in and you have to like you're good at one of her favorite things is this, honey. She take my hand, honey. Now you know I love you.
I love you.
Right, so she said, I know it's coming, but you
Yeah.
could, and
Yeah.
that's, but it's her way of really getting me prepared for the
Yeah.
truth that she's about to share. And you shared things with me about, I used to dress a certain way when we met, and after we met, you spoke into my life about, being able to dress in a way that I could walk into multiple rooms and not just in a
And
room
be
full of,
taken
yeah, not
seriously.
just in a room full of my colleagues and contemporaries, but in rooms. And so as a result, I became a little bit more conservative in my dress, not flashy and etc. because I wanted to be respected in different spaces.
Yeah.
And that's all her. You know what I mean? Right? So,
And likewise, I mean, when we first met, I used to only, because I was in the hospital all the time around, in the medical
black and
field.
yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
I used to just always wear pants and slacks and, shirts and sweaters because I was constantly, in that setting or what have you. I wasn't wearing dresses or skirts to work in the hospital, to run to emergencies and to run to deliveries. I just didn't believe in wearing nice things that could get bloodied. That was really my mindset or what have you. And so when we met, I was the type of person I would only wear dresses on a beach vacation or what have you, occasionally to go to church or what have you. But now, like, he helped me embrace my feminine side, and now I wear what I want, when I want, how I want, where I want.
You rock it, girl.
Thank you.
Rock it too,
Thank
girl.
you.
Yeah.
But I think like those are really simple, superficial ways that we've changed each other, but it's so much deeper than that.
Yeah, it's a lot deeper because I think in terms of how we engage relationships and
Yeah.
people like that, like there's certain things we help each other with, how
Yeah.
we overcome our frustrations and things like that. We help each other. I think you have to be able to speak into a person's life in every different area and say, I'm here to not hinder you. I'm with you. So you got to clearly lay this out. Look,
we're on the same
I'm with
team.
you.
Yeah.
We together. So we're not gonna let the enemy turn us against each other because
Yeah.
I'm encouraging you to make that phone call or to come to this event or to
create those boundaries.
yeah, I'm not against you. I'm with you because I'm here to make sure that you win. And I'm thinking about your future. I'm thinking about your legacy. I'm thinking about our legacy. And I think that's important when you have the right person that'll speak in your life like that. And you have to ask yourself, is a person gonna let you just go out there and just make a fool out yourself? What kind of person is that? You're like, you should have told me. Well, we tell each other everything. Like, look, this is what's up.
Yeah.
I think that's important, right? And I think in every area. So when you think about making each other better, you think about the benefit of that, right? Because this is a person you're doing life with.
When I make him better, I make us better. When he wins, I win. When he wins, we win.
Yeah.
When he makes me better, he makes us better.
We all
When
win.
I win,
We all
we
win.
win,
Yeah.
right? And so when the tide rises, all the ships sail. And so it's not about a competition. Some couples, we hear about this internal competitions of them trying to one-up each other. No, I'm giving him all the secrets so that he can persevere and win and climb and be at the top of his game. And he's doing the same for me. And sometimes it's small tweaks and sometimes they're big changes, but it's reciprocal, and we're mature enough in our marriage to where we receive it now because we know that it's coming from a good place.
A good place, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the key, right? It's got to be come from a good place, and it's not that you're like demeaning the person or etc. And so, I think it's important to be able to accept that truth. I think it's important to be able to humble yourself and be receptive to what the person is saying to you without feeling offended and thinking the person is against you. It's important to create, this culture of communication and transparency where a person can at any given time, because she'll look at me in a situation and say, what do you think about that? And she's like asking me, like, should she continue on in that particular thing or not? And I'll tell her the truth. And I'll say, you have a lot of value to that. They need you more, you need them, so you should probably do it because this is where your heart is. Or I may say, no, I'm not gonna let you take advantage of yourself. I think it's a bad move, and I think that's what you need. Like, look at it like this. This is my third eye.
Yeah.
I'm her third eye.
Yeah.
I see what she doesn't see. She sees what I don't see, and we talk about it. I think that's what makes the beauty of this. That's what it is.
And it's about friendship. right?
Man,
Marriage,
say that.
significant relationships, your friends first.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want any real friends around me who can't look me in the face and tell me the truth, who are who will let me go walk out on the edge and hang myself, who will go and let me walk out the house looking crazy, who are afraid to, if I'm going down the wrong road, to look at me in the face and say, hey, you probably shouldn't do this. Have you thought about X, Y, and Z? Who, if I'm asking for advice, they are willingly giving me poor advice or, lead me down, the dark road or what have you. Like, this is my best friend. And at the end of the day, we roll like that. I'm going to tell him whatever he wants to hear and sometimes what he doesn't want to hear. And he's going to do the same for me. But again, because of the relationship that we have, he knows that it's coming from a real place of love and respect and honor. Right?
Yeah, and that's the key, right? Respect, honor, it's those things. I think that's because you don't want to feel dishonored. You turn off. You're just like, this is crazy. I'm not gonna.
And this hasn't always been the case in terms of our ability to communicate in this way. Like, we've learned to communicate in this way. I've learned how to tell him the truth because I used to just be like, look, it is what it is. Like, the truth is the truth, and I mean, you like it, you don't like it.
So much wiser, y'all. So much wiser.
It is what it is. You can't argue with the truth, and so fix it, change it, one up it, like do whatever you need to do. But now. Over time, I've recognized what works and what doesn't work. Like, do you want to be right or do you want to be helpful, right? Like, it may be correct in terms of what you're getting ready to say, but how are they going to receive it and will they receive it at all? I'd rather you back up 10 steps and tell me in a way that I can receive it, even if it's only 35% of what you're trying to tell me, because even that little bit will be helpful. And then perhaps layer on the other, 65% and other conversations in order to get me to that point. And ladies, sometimes you just have to make suggestions and make them think that it's their idea in order for them to do what you need them to do to get to where they are. And it's okay. Take credit for it. I don't care, as long as you become better for it.
Yeah, I think men, you got to know how to make suggestions, but tread lightly. Tread lightly. You got to, those funny things on Instagram when, the husband's like, wife say, hey, babe, you think I need to go work out? And the husband says something really vile about, and then next day the film program comes up. So you want to make sure, like, you're not...
Just walk in wisdom.
Walk in wisdom. And that's why I brought it up, because it's important, because at times I've learned, like, even, like, she'll say, honey, like, do you like this dress? And I'm like,
No, you don't, because you buy my clothes.
No, that's true.
You shop for me. I shop for him. He shops for me.
That's true.
I'm a better shopper for him than I am for myself. And he's a better shopper for me. He actually shops for him. Like, he's a shopaholic in the family. But he does do a lot of shopping for me. If he's out and he sees something that he likes and he thinks that I'll like it, he'll just get it. And he's usually right on point.
Yeah, I do hook you up. I make you better that way, right? That make you better how, like, have you flossing? Okay. Meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, back to the subject. But y'all understand. So, but men, make sure, like, you tread lightly, but also be honest with your wife, your girlfriend. Be honest and say, babe, And then there are ways in which you could do it better. Like, we should go work out together. Get it? Or we should cook together. Let's figure out something we could cook together. Then you gotta be very wise in how you introduce certain things, and I think that's important, right? Don't you think?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Funny thing. What is it? I think I know what you're gonna say. What is one thing you can say? I know for a fact. This is pre-Joseph and Stephanie, and post-Joseph and Stephanie. Like, this is the Joseph. You can tell you met Stephanie because this changed about you. But it's going to be so fun now. What you going to say?
You tell me what I'm going to say.
Some suits.
Suits and?
What else? What?
Personal trainer, the way we eat, the 30-pound weight loss.
I was a little chunky, yeah.
Zoot suit.
Oh, Zoot suit. They weren't Zoot, they just looked like Zoot
Barack
suits.
Obama, like, really shifting the game. Like, just really,
stop wearing them suits with the
focusing
buttons
on
everywhere.
Being healthy, being smarter, being wiser. Like, thinking about what you're saying in terms of like making sure it's more inclusive in your conversations as opposed to
just
sort
reckless,
of religious rhetoric.
reckless and random.
Yeah. I don't think you meant any malice.
No.
I just think that there was no one around you that would tell you
the truth.
Yeah, the truth.
And it was important too, because I was like, I say something, they said maybe you can't say it that way. You have to think broader, and so she really did. She did. You did kind of take me out of the, certain kind of style to the Barack Obama style. You did. I'll give you that. She did do that. Yeah.
And eating healthy.
That's a fact.
Focusing on your health, exercising, losing weight, getting slim and trim so that you can actually be healthy for the vision that God has in store for you.
And look at you, like stepping out of the boat, following your vision, not second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
You can do this. Look at you.
Thank you.
I pushed out the boat. I was like, you can do this. You can do this.
Yeah.
You need somebody.
When I was contemplating starting a business, he would like, you'd be crazy not to do this.
Oh,
and I was offended. I was like, crazy? What do you mean crazy?
Yeah.
He was like, you've got all these skills in you. Of course you can do this, you know?
That's
so,
true.
and then I jumped and had a very successful endeavor.
And I think that's, see, what we're trying to tell y'all is it's simple, man. Just make sure you talk to each other, communicate the truth about how that person can get better, whether it's their mental health, physical health, whether it's their spiritual health, whether it's just life, money, etc. Just be willing to say, I'm here to help you get better, because if you win, we win. At the end of the day, I'm a better man. And I thank God you made me a better man.
Thank you, honey.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
She did. And I thank God for that. And I continue to strive every single day to be a better man. And I hope I made you a better woman.
Yes, you absolutely have.
And it is. See? So thank y'all so much, man. This has been wonderful. Make sure you do that. Iron sharpens iron. And you gotta stay away from those dull things. Pour into each other. Talk to each other. Accept the truth for what it is. Don't think the person is against you. But be willing to step up and be courageous enough to speak to the person that God's connected you with.
Say it in love.
And say it in love. There it is. Boom. All right? So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure you follow Dr. Steph at Dr. Steph Walker. Follow me at Joseph Walker 3. Make sure you go to our website, josephwalker3.org. Get our merch, t-shirts, all that good stuff out there in books. I thank God for you guys so much. This has been amazing.
Yes,
we appreciate y'all. I'm Bishop.
And I'm Dr. Steph.
Until next time. Peace.